Hello, Munchers! Today I will be talking about my seminary experience, specifically about my magical awakening that came about thanks to becoming fully immersed into psychotherapy thanks to 3 amazing professionals. The awakening eventually led directly to my expulsion from Marinol. As I mentioned in my previous videos, for the entirety of my childhood, teenage years, and my college years, I was encased in a shell. No, not an actual shell, of course, but a self-made prison that I constructed as a way to protect myself from attack. Again, this was because of all the mental abuse I suffered as a child, which in turn led to serious trust issues. Luckily for me, my formational leaders at Marinol Seminary immediately noticed this and got me started on a psychotherapy program. It was at this time I was introduced to Cy McGinnis, Stephen A. Mitchell, and George Bellotta. Each one of them had their own style and technique to help me figure out a way to break out of my shell so some serious spiritual and mental growth would occur. Cy helped me put a virtual mirror in front of me so I could analyze what was going on. Stephen made me analyze the fallacies and delusions I was buying into my entire life. George had me write a structured autobiography so I could see recurring patterns in my life. And for those of you who don't know, a structured autobiography is when not only you talk about yourself, hence the autobiography, but also your immediate family, your friends, and all major events in your life up to that point. All of this combined effort led to a major breakthrough, and I felt like the floor had given away and I was falling into another parallel universe. My shell had been cracked, and now I had been given the tools needed to express myself and to become healthy in mind and body. One of the major revelations is how sexually frustrated I was due to all the silly and ridiculous rules the Roman Catholic Church taught about sexuality. As a child, I was taught that any impure thoughts or looking at pornography would lead to hellfire. So I had built a tremendous amount of shame and guilt for the normal sexual maturation and experimentation that one goes through as you're becoming a teenager and then going into early adulthood. Cy asked me one day, "Don't you think Jesus, if he were real, masturbated?" Mind blown. That thought had never even crossed my mind, but it made perfect sense to me. One day we were having a discussion in front of our formational leaders at the seminary, and they all commented on how much healthier mentally and emotionally I had become. Like my emotional IQ had gone up 100 points in a very short period of time. I shared with the group all the wonderful tools I was learning from my psychotherapy sessions, including my recent breakthrough regarding my sexual maturation and relieving all that shame and guilt that I had built up. I mentioned Jesus must have masturbated. That also blew their minds, but not in a healthy way. They got really scared because I was becoming a very influential leader in the seminary group, and therefore all the other seminarians really listened to me. The formational leaders took it upon themselves to expel me from the seminary and gave me 24 hours to pack my bags so they could send me on a plane and get me the heck out of there. Like I was some criminal drug dealer. At the time, it was quite a shock to the system because I really loved it at Marinol. I mean, who wouldn't love it up there? It was a really cool place. I mean, New York City, living near the Hudson River. It was incredible. It really was an incredible, magical place. But, in the end, it was all for the best. And it was a blessing in disguise because it did lead me to moving back to the DC metro area, and co-founding an atheist group, Beltway Atheists, which I will discuss in my next video. That's it for now. Thank you for listening, and thank you for being a friend.